Chosen one, hear me clearly. This is not just another message scrolling across your feed, not just another video to consume and forget. This is a divine warning, a sacred spiritual alert sent straight from the throne room of heaven to your spirit. What you are about to hear has been declared by God Himself, and if you're here right now, it's no accident, no random click. The Spirit of the Lord has guided you directly to this moment because something monumental is shifting in your life and across the entire world. This is not the hour to be distracted by noise, by the opinions of others, by fleeting trends or shallow entertainment. This is the moment to tune in with every fiber of your being, to anchor your spirit deeply and take heed because everything is about to change, and quickly. The Lord has spoken. When you see this sign, you must begin to hide. Understand, this is not about fear or running away. This is about obedience, divine strategy, and divine protection. God is positioning His chosen ones, not to vanish in weakness, but to be concealed, covered, and fully prepared for the next wave. There will be a very specific moment, a divine marker, a heavenly alarm that when it comes will announce the beginning of a massive spiritual event. You won't have to question it. You will feel it deep in your bones. You will know it with a knowing that cannot be explained but cannot be denied. And when it happens, you must withdraw, because in that moment the enemy's agenda will escalate like never before. What's coming isn't random chaos. It is not a surprise to heaven. It is a strategic, pre-planned event designed to disrupt, distract, and ultimately dismantle the divine purpose inside the chosen ones. But listen carefully. The Lord says not so. You are being warned ahead of time because heaven has already made provisions for your protection. You are being covered before the storm arrives, and your obedience in this hour will determine your protection and elevation in the next. Maybe you've already started seeing the early signs. Sudden disconnections from people you thought would be with you forever. Doors you thought would open closing unexpectedly. A heightened spiritual sensitivity that sometimes feels like a burden. A deep stirring in your spirit that you can't articulate to anyone else. These are not random coincidences. They are prophetic signals from the Lord telling you it is time to come away, time to be still, time to prepare for what is about to be unleashed upon the earth. Before we go deeper into this divine revelation, I want you to pause for a moment and type the number 999 in the comments below. Why? Because 999 symbolizes divine completion, angelic protection, and prophetic clarity. When you type it, you are sending a message into the atmosphere that says, I am aligned, I am aware, I am ready. Chosen one, if you truly are who God says you are, you will not just watch this message halfway and move on. You will stay until the end because your spirit recognizes that this is not ordinary content. This is a divine appointment. This is your moment of warning, your moment of revelation, your moment to separate from the noise and anchor into the instructions of God with urgency and precision. Many will ignore this message. Many will scroll past and miss their divine window of preparation and protection. But not you, because you are awake, you are sealed, and you were born for such a time as this. Before we continue, I want to take a moment to deeply thank every single one of you who has supported this mission through Super Thanks. Your generosity doesn't just support this message, it propels it into more lives, helping more chosen ones wake up and prepare. And whether you choose to give or not, please know from the depths of my spirit, I am profoundly grateful for you. Your presence here is a gift. May this message bless you beyond measure, ignite your spirit, and awaken the divine fire inside you. Now prepare yourself, chosen one, because what comes next is sacred strategy from heaven itself, and it is calling you by name. God's chosen ones. God said start hiding when it happens. All planned. Chosen one, let's go deeper into what God has revealed beyond the surface level, into the marrow of your spirit. This warning is not a metaphor or a poetic symbol to be admired from a distance. No, it is real, specific, and it is unfolding right now in your life, whether you fully realize it or not. Can you feel that trembling beneath your skin? That subtle yet undeniable vibration that something massive is shifting? This is not a drill, not a warm-up session, and certainly not a dress rehearsal. The cosmic reset has already begun, and you are standing at the epicenter of it. Everything you see, hear, and even sense in the spiritual realm is rearranging itself. Some people feel this and choose to numb themselves with distractions. Others see it but choose to laugh it off in arrogance. But you, chosen one, you feel it deep in your bones, an ache, a knowing, a restless stirring that refuses to be silenced. Have you noticed how the confusion that used to swirl around you has started to dissipate? That fog of uncertainty is gone because now there is no more time for hesitation. The season of maybe has expired. You are standing in the moment that splits time into before and after, and the question is, which side will you stand on? What will you choose when heaven itself is holding its breath, waiting for your move? Every single second you spend doubting or delaying now will cost you far more than you can comprehend. Opportunities, protection, and divine positioning that cannot be replaced. You were never a random piece on life's chessboard. You were sculpted by heartbreak, refined by loneliness, and purified through the silent fires of isolation. Why do you think you felt so much weight on your shoulders when others lived carelessly? Why did life squeeze you harder, test you deeper, and push you further than those around you? It's because your assignment was never meant to be ordinary. You were chosen to remain unshaken when the rest collapse, to speak light when the world echoes darkness, to hold the line when others retreat. Look at the story of Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years. He emerged not broken but forged into a leader strong enough to guide a nation toward healing. Like him, your seasons of pain were your seasons of preparation. Or think of Harriet Tubman, who faced unthinkable dangers yet returned again and again to free others. She did not wait for approval. She moved with divine urgency. Isn't it striking how these individuals heard a higher call and responded without waiting for public support? Isaiah 61 declares, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This isn't an invitation to wait, it's a command to act. The illusions that held the world captive are shattering right now. The deceptive layers are peeling away, and in the chaos of collapse, divine truth is emerging, and so are you. Can you see it? Can you feel the old structures crumbling beneath your feet as you're being lifted to a new spiritual altitude? This is not the moment to look around, seeking a nod of approval or a pat on the back. Don't wait for someone else to validate what God already confirmed in the secret place. You've been called long before you ever thought you were ready. Remember Esther, who was chosen for such a time as this. Esther 4:14. Similarly, think about Steve Jobs, who built a world-changing vision not because everyone supported him, but because he believed in the unseen future. Or Oprah Winfrey, who was told over and over that she wasn't good enough, yet her relentless faith in her purpose transformed her into a global voice of influence. These examples stand as living parables that echo your journey, chosen one. Do you see how you've been hidden, trained, and anointed in silence for this very hour? Romans 8:19 says, "For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed." The universe itself is waiting for your emergence. You cannot delay, because all of creation is holding its breath, longing to see you manifest the glory hidden inside you. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase." What steps are you hesitating to take? Who are you waiting for permission from when heaven already issued your assignment? 2 Timothy 1:7 reminds us, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear but of power and love and self-control." You are not here to operate from timidity. You are here to walk in unmatched authority. If you've been crying out for a sign, wondering if it's time to move, this is it. It is louder than thunder, clearer than crystal, and final in its declaration. Your destiny is no longer waiting for you. It's here. The question is, will you step forward? Or will you let this moment pass, letting the same patterns continue to bind you? John 15:16 says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last." You are chosen, not for comfort, but for impact, not for applause, but for legacy. Chosen one, I need you to listen with your spirit wide open, because what you're sensing is not just your imagination playing tricks on you. You'll notice a strange energy hanging heavy in the air, a subtle distortion that no one else seems to name, yet you can't shake it off. Have you felt it? That quiet unease, that silent tremor in your environment, that's your first sign. Everything starts to feel off, but you don't have the vocabulary to describe it. Why is that? It's because this sign was never meant for the world. It was designed specifically for you, the chosen one. Disruptions will begin to echo through your surroundings like hidden drumbeats only your spirit can hear. People around you will start acting out of character. They might become irrational, distant, or suddenly too close. Technology that seemed reliable may begin to glitch and fail without logical explanation. Emotions will spike, not just yours, but in everyone you encounter. They will swing wildly from anger to tears to an odd, empty laughter. Have you wondered why your sensitivity feels like both a blessing and a burden? It's because you are wired to catch these spiritual frequencies while others drown them out. John 10:27 reminds us, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." This is your signal to follow. When these disturbances strike, you must move without hesitation. Withdraw immediately. Hide, step back, and stay in. Protect your energy like it is a treasure, because it is. Silence, in this context, is not cowardice, it is your fortress. This is not about hiding in fear, but engaging in strategic isolation. Do you see the difference? When a divine system resets, survival doesn't belong to the strongest or the loudest. It belongs to those who understand the sacred art of detachment, those who can pull away from the noise and sync with the new heavenly frequency. Imagine the story of Nikola Tesla, a genius who often withdrew into solitude to receive visions and ideas no one else could grasp. His silence wasn't weakness, it was his laboratory. Or look at Elijah from 1 Kings 19, who had to hide in the cave not out of fear but to receive divine instruction away from the chaos of Jezebel's threats. You must avoid large gatherings, meaningless chatter, and places of spiritual dilution. Protect your space as though it is the last holy sanctuary on earth, because for you, chosen one, it truly is. You are entering a frequency so rare, so sacred, that if you do not guard it, it will be snatched by the swirling chaos and mindless energies around you. Do you truly believe the world will understand your silence? No, and that is precisely why you don't owe anyone an explanation. Don't justify your retreat. Don't apologize for your divine distance. You do not need to announce your departure when you are being called to higher realms. Matthew 6:6 says, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you. Your hiddenness is your strength." What's about to shift will strike harder and deeper than anyone can predict. And when it hits, only those who stayed vigilant, those who obeyed the quiet yet thunderous warnings, will stand on the other side as survivors and leaders of the new order. This is not a game or a simulation. This is a divine operation that has already been initiated, and it will not wait for your comfort zone to catch up. The reset has been triggered. Nothing, not science, not policy, not collective human will, can reverse it. Think of J.K. Rowling before Harry Potter's global explosion. She hid away, unemployed, scribbling in cafes, ignoring every voice telling her to get a real job. Her retreat created a universe that changed the world. Or consider David in the wilderness before he became king. The hidden years were his real training ground. As Hebrews 12:27 warns, the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created things, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. Institutions will crumble, systems will fracture. The surface of society might still look intact, but underneath it all, reality is unraveling thread by thread. Can you see it, or are you clinging to illusions because they feel safe? Chosen one, if you try to cling to what is crumbling, you will fall with it. Let go of your obsession with normal. Release your addiction to certainty. The world you knew is dissolving and will not return. This is not about your comfort. It is about your survival, your clarity, and your alignment with divine reality. The old structures were built to keep you small, docile, and endlessly distracted. Now, in their destruction, your spirit is finally free to stretch and soar. Don't waste your energy trying to revive systems that were never designed to support your divine expansion. You are built to lead in the new realm, but how can you lead when your hands are chained to the past? You must stop trying to repair the irreparable. Step back, observe, absorb wisdom, and prepare your next divine move. You will witness panic, lies, and desperate clinging, but you are not here to panic. You are here to ascend. Romans 12:2 instructs us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, while the unprepared will be shattered by this shift. For you, the vigilant, the obedient, this is your greatest liberation." Chosen one, there will come a moment, sudden, sharp and absolutely unmistakable, when your entire being will feel as if an invisible wave of divine electricity has surged through you. Your heart might begin to pound so hard you think it might burst from your chest. Your mind might spin in a cyclone of thoughts and visions. And here's the crucial question: will you mistake this surge for fear, or will you recognize it as the sacred ignition it truly is? This is not panic, beloved. This is your soul coming online after ages of slumber. This is the internal alarm system of your spirit, announcing that the moment you were secretly trained for is now. When this spark ignites inside of you, understand that nothing will remain the same. Can you sense how this is not random? Can you feel that this is a divinely orchestrated beginning, rather than an emotional breakdown? At this moment, your emotions will become razor sharp. Your instincts will begin to fire with a supernatural speed and accuracy that may overwhelm you. You'll feel sensations in your body you can't explain, a trembling, a burning, a restless ache. But don't misinterpret this discomfort as weakness or vulnerability. It is in fact activation. The intense pressure you feel internally is not a signal to retreat. It is a sacred push forward, a spiritual reboot. Think of an old, forgotten machine. When electricity first courses through it after years of dormancy, it jolts, rattles, and hums before coming alive. That is exactly what's happening inside you. You are that machine, chosen one, and the divine circuitry being reawakened within you is ancient, precise, and more powerful than anything this world has ever known. Remember Moses at the burning bush. Exodus 3:2. He felt the fear, the trembling, yet it was his activation moment. Or think of Joan of Arc, a young girl who heard divine voices calling her to battle and liberation. Did she hide? No, she stepped into her destiny with trembling courage. Do not suppress these new waves rising inside of you. Don't attempt to drown them out with distractions, numbing habits, or mindless comforts. Don't ignore them in favor of the shallow noise of this world. Instead, feel them deeply. Trust their message, move with their rhythm. You are not here to fit into an old paradigm, but to break it open. Of Peter 5:10 declares, "And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you." Your trembling is the first sign of your restoration and establishment in your true power. This is the moment that separates the passive watchers from the awakened warriors. Which one are you going to be? Will you merely observe your life as it crumbles, or will you rise into the warrior you were always meant to become? You are not being scared, you are being summoned. This tension in your chest, this trembling in your spirit, it is living proof that the Great Reset isn't just happening around you, it has already begun inside of you. Can you grasp the magnitude of that revelation? Think of Malcolm X, who felt an inner fire transform him from a man lost in the noise of the world into a leader who would change history. Or consider Malala Yousafzai, who despite the bullets and threats, felt a surge of destiny that propelled her to become a voice for millions. Romans 13:11 reminds us, "The hour has already come for you to wake up from your slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed." The divine clock is striking. Your spiritual alarm cannot be snoozed anymore. Once this process starts, there is no turning back. You don't get to crawl back into your old shell, your old excuses, your old patterns of comfort. The only direction left is forward, upward, into the rising. You don't regress, you ascend. Look at Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, Matthew 26:39, feeling the full weight of his assignment, yet saying, "Not as I will, but as you will." In that intense, trembling surrender, he stepped into the ultimate activation of his divine mission. The spark inside you is the same call. Once it ignites, you are no longer who you used to be. You become unstoppable, chosen one. The world will see the shaking and misunderstand it as fear, but those with eyes to see will recognize it as the trembling of a giant awakening. And the question remains, will you answer the call? Will you rise, or will you let the power within you remain dormant? Chosen one, Have you started to notice how the world around you seems to be splitting in two? You'll watch others laugh easily, throwing themselves into trivial pleasures and shallow entertainment, while you sit in silence feeling an inexplicable weight pressing on your chest. Why do you think that is? While they chase petty dramas and empty arguments, your mind is on fire with divine insights and revelations so profound they keep you up at night. You'll hear loud chatter from those who never mattered, and painful silence from those you once thought would stand with you. This contrast is not random. It's not a quirk of your imagination. It is a deliberate division, a divine sorting happening right before your eyes. Can you see it? Others don't feel the undercurrent because they were not built to. They were designed to live on the surface, content to chase comfort and illusion. But you, chosen one, you were made differently. You were marked from the very beginning, even before you could name the heaviness inside you. Psalm 139, day 13 says, "For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. Your depth was woven into you before your first breath. It's why your past seemed crueler, why your storms were fiercer, why your questions cut deeper than anyone else's. You wondered why your pain felt too heavy to share, too sacred to even speak aloud. It's because while they were built for the surface waves, you were crafted to anchor the deep currents of this divine shift." Look at the life of the prophet Jeremiah. He was marked from birth, misunderstood, isolated, and called to carry words no one wanted to hear. Or think of Rosa Parks, a single act of silent defiance that changed the world, yet she carried that courage alone before anyone else saw its power. Doesn't that sound like your journey? The pull you feel, that magnetic tug in your spirit that no one else seems to sense, that is your proof. That is heaven's fingerprint on your soul, reminding you that you are not like the rest. Do you still expect the masses to understand your depth? Do you still wait for applause from people who can't even perceive the melody you hear? Their silence toward you is not rejection, it's your signal to go deeper into your calling. Their confusion isn't evidence of your error, it is your confirmation. 1 Corinthians 2:14 tells us, "The person without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God, but considers them foolishness." Stop expecting them to grasp what only the spiritually awakened can feel. Consider Albert Einstein, who spent years misunderstood and dismissed before the world finally saw his genius. Or Maya Angelou, whose early silence hid a roaring river of poetry and wisdom that would later move generations. The ones who feel it first, the ones who carry the silent burdens before anyone else even notices the storm, are always the ones chosen to guide others through it later. Isaiah 30:21 assures us, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" You've heard this voice when others only hear noise. You sense pathways while others cling to patterns. That is your divine edge, your sacred responsibility. Don't fight it. Don't run from the discomfort. Don't try to shrink back into a space that no longer fits you just because it feels safer. Let them sleep, chosen one, while you awaken. Let them chase shadows while you follow the light. You were not designed to fit in, but to stand out and illuminate the path ahead. John 15:19 says, "If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world." Can you finally accept that this otherness is your anointing, not your curse? While they rest in ignorance, you are being called into divine awareness. While they celebrate illusions, you are being equipped to reveal truth. This awakening isn't something happening to you by accident. It is the unveiling of your true assignment. You are the person chosen to bear the first shocks of divine movement, so that later you can lead others safely through the tremors. The question remains, will you resist the pull and stay asleep, or will you honor the call and rise into the fullness of who you were born to be? Let them sleep. Your hour has come. Chosen one, you're going to feel it in ways so vivid and undeniable that you'll have no choice but to acknowledge it. A sudden rush in your chest, an electric buzzing in your mind, and an unexplainable urgency rising in your spirit, like a tidal wave you can't hold back. Have you ever felt that sacred fire surge up when you least expected it? That is not anxiety. It is not random emotional turbulence. It is the spiritual surge, your divine ignition moment. It will not tiptoe into your life quietly. No, it will arrive like a thunderstorm, tearing through everything you thought was solid, every false identity, every limitation you unconsciously embraced. It will demand your full attention, demand action, demand that you finally rise to meet the version of yourself you were always meant to embody. This surge is not here to create chaos, it is here to create you anew. It is the pulse of your awakening, and it will shake every foundation you once thought unshakable. But chosen one, hear me clearly, with elevation comes resistance. As your spiritual voltage increases, interference will intensify. You will find yourself misunderstood by those you love, targeted by those who once celebrated you, and attacked not necessarily with fists but with words, energy, and unseen spiritual arrows. Can you already feel some of this happening? Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world." So when this resistance arrives, do not take it personally. Receive it as confirmation that your light has become too bright for the shadows to ignore. The darkness always recoils when a true light begins to blaze unapologetically. Think of Galileo Galilei, who faced imprisonment for daring to tell the truth about the universe. Or think of Nelson Mandela, targeted and misunderstood, yet his surge of vision reshaped an entire nation. These were not people playing it safe, they moved with the surge even when the world opposed them. That tension you feel, that heaviness pressing against your ribs and tightening your throat, is not a sign something is wrong. It is proof that something powerful, something holy, is being birthed through you. You are in labor with your next dimension. Will you surrender to it or fight against it? 1 Peter 4:12-13 encourages us, "Dear friends, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal that has come on you to test you, but rejoice inasmuch as you participate in the sufferings of Christ, so that you may be overjoyed when His glory is revealed." The pressure isn't here to crush you, it's here to reveal you. You must protect your energy like it is the last flame on earth. Guard it as though your future depends on it, because it does. Stay vigilant. Instead of reacting impulsively, respond strategically. When the insults come, when the betrayals appear, when the whispers grow loud, remain rooted in your center. Not everyone will appreciate this new elevated version of you, and guess what? They are not supposed to. This journey isn't about their comfort. It is about your evolution, your alignment with divine timing and divine truth. Think of Serena Williams, who faced relentless criticism, yet rose stronger each time, redefining her entire sport. Or consider Frida Kahlo, who transformed her physical and emotional pain into art that transcended generations. Their surges didn't wait for approval. They moved, acted, and reshaped history because they dared to embrace the full force of their inner activation. Isaiah 54:17 promises, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." The surge will push you forward like a cosmic wind at your back, but it can only do so if you release your grip on what is pulling you backward. Outdated beliefs, toxic connections, old wounds disguised as comfort. Feel the surge. Embrace it. Harness it as your fuel. This is not the time to pause and overthink. This is the divine invitation to move boldly, to act with faith, and to step fully into the next phase of your spiritual assignment. Romans 8:31 declares, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" So, chosen one, what are you waiting for? The surge is not a threat. It is your signal. Will you accept it? Will you let it carry you into your divine destiny? This is your moment, the moment heaven has been preparing you for in secret. Move, the surge is here, and it is unstoppable. Chosen one, do you realize why you're being told to step back, to retreat into the shadows, to almost vanish from the eyes of the world? It isn't because you're weak, afraid, or running from your purpose. No, this is not weakness. This is divine protection at its highest form. Have you ever wondered why you feel that unexplainable urge to withdraw just when everyone expects you to engage? That's heaven pulling you into its secret chambers because you are not meant to be publicly exposed right now. You are being shielded, covered, hidden for a reason that transcends human understanding. Isaiah 26:20 urges us, "Go, my people, enter your rooms and shut the doors behind you. Hide yourselves for a little while until his wrath has passed by." This hiding is not abandonment, it's preparation. In this sacred stage, Your energy is too sensitive, too precious to be wasted or diluted by the noise and chaotic frequencies of the outside world. This is your divine cocoon, and as you know, no butterfly emerges without first enduring the solitude and darkness of the cocoon. Have you noticed how the urge to avoid crowds, drama, and shallow conversations has intensified? Why do you think that is? Because your spirit is undergoing a delicate and divine recalibration. Even well-meaning people, those who claim to love you, can unknowingly drain your energy during this stage. It's not about personal betrayal, it's about spiritual conservation. You must keep your circle as tight as a sealed vault, or even non-existent for a time. Think about Jesus withdrawing to the wilderness for 40 days. Luke 4:1-2. That wasn't a sign of fear, it was divine strategy. Or consider Steve Jobs, who retreated to India and deep personal exploration before returning to change the world with clarity and renewed vision. These retreats weren't escapes, they were sacred incubations. The divine recalibrations taking place within you now are fragile and otherworldly. If you expose them too soon, if you share your unripe visions and sacred shifts with those not assigned to understand them, you risk aborting the very process that was sent to set you apart. Can you imagine a farmer digging up seeds to show them to the neighbors before they sprout? It would destroy the harvest. Psalm 91:1 tells us, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty." This isn't just poetic language. It is a divine blueprint for this moment in your life. Silence now is not emptiness, it is sacredness. Distance is not rejection of the world, it is divine strategy. When you hide, you do not disappear, you prepare. You stabilize the new frequencies running through your veins. You reconnect with your higher self and with God in ways that noisy company could never allow. You rewire your inner architecture so that when the outer world starts to shake and fall apart, you remain anchored and unmovable. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years hidden away in prison before he emerged to lead a nation. Those hidden years were not lost. They were the forging ground of his destiny. Or think of Malala Yousafzai, who had to retreat into silence and seclusion to heal before she could become a global voice for education and justice. During this phase, don't waste time explaining your distance to people who were never meant to understand it. Don't justify your silence to those who feed off noise. You owe no explanations for your sacred strategy. This is the stage where true chosen ones, those called to shift realities and lead divine revolutions, separate from the crowd. John 7:6 reminds us, "Therefore Jesus told them, 'My time is not yet here, for you any time will do.' You are not on the world's timeline. You operate on heaven's schedule, and right now, heaven is telling you to step back, not forward. The next chapter of your life requires privacy, not popularity. Your assignment demands sacred solitude, not social applause." Can you feel that? The inner world you are rebuilding in secret will be your fortress when the outer world begins to collapse. Chosen one, will you honor this divine strategy? Will you protect your sacred transformation? Or will you sabotage it by craving visibility too soon? The future demands your strength, and this cocoon is your training ground. Remember, hiddenness today is the foundation of unstoppable emergence tomorrow. This is your sanctuary season. Guard it fiercely. Chosen one, understand this clearly. Distraction is not just a harmless habit or a casual indulgence. It is a finely tuned weapon designed to keep you spiritually sedated. Have you wondered why you feel an urge to check your phone every few minutes? Why meaningless conversations pull at your attention like invisible strings? Social media, constant notifications, shallow drama, all of it is deliberately engineered to drown out the voice inside you that has been desperately screaming, "Wake up!" This is not the hour to flirt with trivialities. You can no longer afford to waste your divine time on things that pull you into the shallow end of life. The reset that is upon you demands your undivided focus, your whole presence. You are not being dramatic or paranoid. You are being summoned by heaven itself. Do you hear it? Psalm 46:10 urges us, "Be still, and know that I am God." In this stillness, you reclaim power that was always yours but hidden beneath layers of noise and distraction. Silence is no longer just a peaceful option, it is your superpower. Every single moment you surrender to distraction is a moment stolen directly from your destiny. a piece of your purpose lost to the void. Look at Simone Biles, who stepped away from the Olympic stage, sacrificing the applause and attention to protect her inner balance. Or think of Elijah, who withdrew to hear God not in the wind, earthquake or fire, but in the gentle whisper, 1 Kings 19:11-12. These moments of withdrawal are not weaknesses, they are the birthplace of divine alignment. You must train yourself to detach from the obsessive need to respond immediately, from the compulsion to be liked or validated, from the endless scrolling that numbs your spirit. Do you realize how much power you lose every time you give in to these pulls? The more distracted you become, the more distant you are from the sacred guidance that is trying to reach you at every moment of your day. Can you still hear your own soul when you're buried beneath noise? Philippians 4:8 reminds us, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, think about such things. It's time to reclaim your mental and spiritual space. Get still, chosen one. Reclaim your hours, your focus, your mind. Turn off the noise that demands your constant presence but offers you nothing in return. Begin to hear your own thoughts again, and beyond that, hear the whispers of God directing you toward your true assignment. You were never designed to be scattered everywhere, trying to please everyone. You are meant to be deeply aligned with the divine flow, fully present with what heaven is unfolding in you and through you. This alignment isn't free. It requires sacrifice. You will have to let go of the constant buzzing, the mindless scrolling, and the insatiable urge to stay updated on things that do not serve your soul. Think of Steve Jobs, who practiced intense focus and minimalism, removing every distraction so he could build visionary creations. Or Maya Angelou, who rented hotel rooms just to have a quiet space to write without interruption. Their genius was not accidental. It was protected by fierce commitment to focus. Proverbs 4:25-27 guides us. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Do not turn to the right or the left. Keep your foot from evil. Your destiny demands this exact unwavering focus. Cut the noise. Cancel the distractions. Lock in as if your life depends on it, because it does. The future you are stepping into demands absolute concentration. Can you feel how close it is, how near the breakthrough stands? The question is, will you remain scattered and sedated, or will you step into radical clarity and become unstoppable? Chosen one, as the world trembles and structures around you collapse, you will not merely survive, you will rise. But hear me clearly, this isn't because you're running away from the destruction or escaping reality. It's because you were crafted on a completely different blueprint. You're not being broken down by these shifts. You are being meticulously rebuilt from the inside out. Can you feel those old, heavy layers peeling away? The pain that once defined you, the trauma that clung to your spirit like a second skin, the false identities you wore to survive, all of it is being burned away in this divine furnace. Why? Because the authentic, radiant version of you can no longer stay hidden beneath the ash. You are not moving backward, and you're certainly not lost. You are traveling deeper, spiraling inward toward your truest divine self. 2 Corinthians 5:17 reminds us, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, the new is here. This transformation isn't cosmetic. It is cellular, spiritual, and cosmic. Elevation, chosen one, isn't always what the world paints it to be. It's not all spotlights and stages, clapping crowds and praise. Sometimes elevation looks like profound isolation, unbearable silence, and waves of confusion so thick they make you question your very existence. Sometimes it feels like you're being dismantled piece by piece. But isn't that exactly how diamonds are formed? Under relentless pressure, deep within the earth, far away from any human eye. Think of Nelson Mandela, who was imprisoned in silence for decades, only to emerge as a leader with a spirit no chain could hold. Or Oprah Winfrey, who endured silence and abuse in her early life, yet emerged as a global voice of transformation and healing. These were not easy ascensions, they were forged in fire. Romans 8:18 tells us, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. What if this discomfort isn't destruction but construction? Can you accept that your current pressure is the divine reshaping of your destiny? This reset isn't just a cosmic event happening out there. It is happening inside you first. The world can't receive a new era until you step forward as your renewed self. The world cannot be reborn until you are reborn. And when the dust settles and the noise fades, they will desperately search for leaders. But not the loudest, not the most glamorous. They will look for the real ones, those who have been tested in private, refined in silence, and shaped by divine fire. And in that moment, they will find you. 1 Peter 5:6 declares, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time." Your current work is not to be visible or applauded. Your sacred assignment now is to be transformed, to undergo the deep, sometimes painful metamorphosis necessary to lead. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." You are being shaped for that very moment of challenge. For now, your duty is not to be seen or to fight for validation. Your duty is to allow the divine sculptor to do his work. Elevation happens in hidden chambers, not on public stages. Transformation is a sacred ceremony between you and God, not a performance for human eyes. Philippians 1:6 promises, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus." Chosen one, do you realize that what is happening in your body right now goes far beyond anything science can fully explain? Your cells are vibrating at frequencies they've never held before. Your nervous system is becoming more sensitive than you ever imagined. Your dreams are growing more vivid, more intense, almost prophetic. This isn't illness. This isn't your body malfunctioning. This is activation at the most divine level. Romans 12:2 urges us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." But chosen one, your transformation goes beyond your mind. It is coursing through your DNA, rewriting the very codes that shape your reality. Your entire frequency is being recalibrated to align with the demands of the new world you are destined to lead in. Have you been feeling strange symptoms, exhaustion that sleep can't fix, sudden dizziness, overwhelming waves of emotion? Don't panic. Hydrate deeply, rest intentionally, breathe consciously. Your body is doing sacred work. You are not just shifting metaphorically. You are literally becoming something new. Think of the caterpillar in the cocoon. Its entire body dissolves before it reforms as a butterfly. What if your current discomfort is the holy echo of your wings forming? What you used to tolerate, toxic habits, draining conversations, stale environments, you can't stand anymore. What once felt normal now feels deeply wrong. Why? Because your core is transforming. Your frequency is rising to match the truth of who you were always meant to be. You were designed to be an antenna, a divine receptor of new cosmic energy. You feel these upgrades first so you can guide others later. 1 Corinthians 15:51 reminds us, "Listen, I tell you a mystery. We will not all sleep, but we will all be changed." You are that living mystery unfolding in real time. This is why stillness is vital now. Let these changes happen without resistance. Let the divine recalibration flood every cell, every thought, every heartbeat. Do not rush it. Do not fight it. Your very biology is becoming a bridge between dimensions. Can you grasp the magnitude of that? You, chosen one, are becoming the future in human form. As this inner transformation unfolds, you've surely started to notice shifts in your external world too. Certain people are drifting away. Conversations that once felt engaging now seem hollow. Friendships feel forced. Old connections don't resonate anymore. This is not an accident. This is a sacred cleansing. John 15:2 says, "He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes so that it will be even more fruitful." The reset isn't just global, it's deeply personal. What is not aligned with your true self must fall away, and what is meant for you will either remain or return in a transformed state. Don't mourn what's fading, honor it for what it was. Bless it, release it, and step forward. Some of these people were only connected to the version of you that is now dissolving. They were attached to your wounds, not your wisdom. They resonated with your trauma, not your truth. You are not abandoning them. You are rising above them, and that rise is sacred. Think of Malala Yousafzai, who outgrew the fear and silence that once surrounded her and rose into global advocacy. Or consider Leonardo da Vinci, who left old associations and environments behind to become the genius we now celebrate. Their circles shifted as they ascended, and so will yours. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels lonely. But chosen one, don't cling to connections merely to avoid empty space. Your next dimension requires relationships that see you, not relationships that need you as a crutch. You need people who match your frequency, not those who drain your life force. Matthew 9:17 teaches, "Neither do people pour new wine into old wineskins. If they do, the skins will burst. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins, and both are preserved." Your elevation demands a new container, a new community, a new circle, a new frequency. Chosen one, this final wave that is coming over your life is not something to parade around on stages or shout about in the streets. It is private, it is sacred, and if mishandled, it can become dangerous, not just for you, but for everyone connected to your destiny. That is why you keep hearing this call over and over again. Stay hidden. You must guard your purity spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, as if your entire future depends on it, because it does. Psalm 91 whispers, "Whoever dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty." Exposure too soon could corrupt the divine process happening inside you. This is not the season to be seen. This is the season to be fortified, strengthened in your foundation. The public isn't ready to receive what you carry. They would question it, mock it, twist it, and misunderstand its sacredness. But remember, this isn't about proving your worth or convincing anyone of your anointing. This is about finishing what heaven started in you. You are in the final phase of your transformation. Can you feel it? The subtle trembling, the quiet urgency in your bones. Now is the time to stay quiet. Stay low, not because you are afraid, but because you are wise. Think of a lion on the hunt. It doesn't roar to announce its presence. It waits in absolute stillness. It observes, and it moves only when the moment is divinely precise. Your silence is your secret weapon. Your distance is your invisible shield. While others chase attention, you are sharpening your spiritual sword. While they scramble for likes and applause, you are storing up unseen strength. When this final wave crashes, and it will crash with a force no one expects, you will not be swept away. You will stand unwavering, because you obeyed the call to stay hidden and pure. Isaiah 40:31 reminds us, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles." Your obedience in silence is building wings that will carry you above the chaos. Now watch as all the lies spoken about you begin to collapse one by one. Every piece of gossip, every whisper meant to tear you down, every judgment spoken behind closed doors, they will vanish like dust in the wind. Why? Because you no longer need to defend yourself. You don't have to fight back with words or actions. Divine correction is on the way. Look at Joseph, betrayed and thrown into a pit, later imprisoned, yet in God's perfect timing, he rose to rule, and those who betrayed him had to watch in silence. Or think of Nelson Mandela, falsely accused and locked away for decades, only to emerge and become a symbol of freedom and justice for the world. Romans 12:19 declares, "Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, 'Vengeance is mine, I will repay,' says the Lord." You don't need to chase revenge or validation. Heaven has already signed your vindication. This is the moment when tables turn, when twisted stories get untangled right before everyone's eyes. And yet you won't need to utter a single word. Your transformation alone will be the proof, the undeniable, unshakable evidence of your divine calling. Those who tried to write you off will be forced to watch your ascension in stunned silence. This isn't about revenge. It's about divine justice, a higher justice that cannot be manipulated or delayed. Don't gloat. Don't try to prove anything. Don't chase the people who once misunderstood you. Instead, stand still and watch. Watch what happens when God Himself steps in to clear your name and establish your story. John 14:27 reminds us, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives." While the world expects drama, God gives you silent, unstoppable victory. Every false word, every distorted opinion, every shadowy whisper is dissolving into nothingness, and in their place a new narrative is being crafted, the true story of your rise. This is your divine unveiling. The story God always meant to write is now coming to life. Your rise is undeniable now, and the most powerful truth: nothing, no scheme, no attack, no lie can stop it. Chosen one, stand tall in your quiet power. Watch, because this is the hour when heaven confirms your name, your calling, and your crown. Chosen one, prepare your spirit. Nations will tremble, markets will crumble, and man-made structures will fracture beyond repair. This is not a conspiracy whispered in the dark corners of the internet. This is prophecy written across the heavens. The world as you know it will never return to its former shape. But let me ask you, have you ever felt that you were born for something beyond survival? You were not born to be a helpless victim in this collapse. You were handpicked to lead the reconstruction. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" You perceive it, chosen one. While others scatter in panic and confusion, you will stand firm in unshakable clarity. Why? Because your training wasn't casual. You've been forged by relentless hardship, refined through private battles, and guided by a deep intuition that transcends logic. You see what they cannot see, and that's precisely why you were chosen. The world won't need more noise and empty rhetoric when the dust settles. It will need vision, it will need wisdom, it will need authentic power, and you carry all three in abundance. This isn't arrogance, this is your divine assignment manifesting before your eyes. Are you ready to step into that role fully? Prepare now, because when the final shift completes and the world turns searching for answers, they will find you standing, radiant, resurrected. You are the new order they didn't even know they needed. You've waited long enough. You've cried countless silent tears, fought unseen battles, and sacrificed in ways no one could understand. You've endured isolation, wrestled with doubts, and questioned your very worth. But every drop of pain was a divine investment in this moment. You are not being broken now, you are being released. The chains that held you are burning off, and what's emerging from that fire is the real you, unstoppable, unapologetic, unshakable. Zechariah 13:9 reminds us, "I will refine them like silver and test them like gold." The reset will complete. The old version of you, the one who bowed to people's expectations, who second-guessed every step, who lived in survival mode, will vanish like smoke, and in its place you will rise like never before, not quietly or timidly, but with a divine force that no one can deny. You are stepping into the birth of who you truly are. Stand tall, speak with clarity, move with a conviction that shakes the ground beneath you. The waiting season is over. The long silence has served its purpose. It's time to lead, to build, to embody every ounce of greatness God planted inside you. You've survived the refining fire. Now, chosen one, become the flame. I know there are moments when you feel forgotten, invisible, unseen. It feels like no one notices the tremendous effort you make just to hold yourself together. But hear this, your current silence is not divine abandonment, it is divine preparation. You are not ignored, you are hidden on purpose. Think of a seed in the soil, a child in the womb, or a diamond under relentless pressure. All these are formed away from the spotlight. This is your formation season. Your isolation is not punishment, but insulation. You are being separated from noise so that clarity can return, from distraction so that your vision can sharpen, and from draining people so your spirit can fully recharge. John 12:24 says, "Unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed, but if it dies, it produces many seeds." Your current hiddenness is the soil of your future abundance. Chosen ones must be sharpened in silence. Yes, it feels lonely, but in that loneliness, the voice of truth becomes louder. It is in these quiet spaces that your real voice, unshaped by fear or external opinions, begins to rise. When you stop craving validation and anchor deeply into your divine conviction, you become truly unshakable. That version of you is exactly what this new world demands. So don't resist the quiet. Don't beg for company. Let the sacred work finish its course. Your silence is making you magnetic. Your stillness is infusing you with unstoppable power, and when you re-emerge, you won't need to demand your place. It will be handed to you because your presence will be undeniable. There was an old version of you, the survival mode you, the people-pleasing, overthinking, doubting you. That version has now completed its purpose. It's time to grieve it, honor it, thank it, and then let it die. Because the version of you that's rising is unlike anything that has come before. Transformation is not just a glow-up. It's a sacred, often brutal process of tearing down, breaking open, and rebuilding from the ground up. Sometimes it hurts more to let go of who you were than it does to step into what you're becoming. But understand this, you cannot bring old mindsets into a new mission. You cannot wear the skin of a past life into your future. Ephesians 4:22 through 24 commands, "Put off your old self, to be made new in the attitude of your minds, and to put on the new self, created to be like God in true righteousness and holiness." You are meant to lead. The new you is clear-eyed, solid-spined, open-hearted. The new you doesn't negotiate your worth or shrink to keep others comfortable. The new you isn't here to fit in, but to call others out of their illusions and comfort zones. And yes, this will offend those addicted to mediocrity and comfort. But true power never asks for permission. It simply becomes, so let it go. Let the weak version, the fearful version, the desperate version fall into the ashes. And from those ashes rise. Rise with eyes that see beyond this world, with a spine that won't bend, with a heart so open it draws the future toward you. You don't need to return to who you were. That old version was only the cocoon. Chosen one, something ancient and royal is stirring within you right now. Do you feel it? This is not a passive awakening. It is regal. It is commanding. It is destiny roaring back to life. Your energy is shifting, moving from survival mode into the realm of sovereignty. You're not merely waking up each morning to exist. You are stepping into a divine authority that was written into your spirit long before you were born. Ephesians 2:10 tells us, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering who you always were. It shows in everything. The way you speak with unwavering confidence, the way you enter a room carrying an unseen crown, the way you hold silence as if it were a royal decree. None of this is forced. It is a natural remembering. The world tried to train you to shrink, to dim your brilliance so others could feel comfortable beside you. It called your suppression humility, praised you when you minimized your light. But chosen one, now you see through that lie. You were never meant to contort yourself into smaller shapes to make others feel safe. That false humility, it dies today. When you finally stand in your true authority, you realize that power is not about controlling others. It is about presence, a deep magnetic resonance that commands rather than begs. You do not chase opportunities, validation, or acceptance. When you walk in divine authority, what is meant for you flows to you effortlessly. Your frequency becomes a silent command, not a desperate request. This is what happens when a chosen one stops playing small. Walk like the crown is already on your head. Speak like the vision is already fulfilled. Move like the shift has already manifested, because in the spiritual realm it has. Now your physical reality is simply catching up to that eternal truth. Philippians 1:6 reminds us, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion." Trust that. This great reset isn't just cleansing the external world, it is purifying you at your core. This means everything you've ignored, buried, or lied to yourself about is rising to the surface. Old patterns, ancient wounds, fears you believed were long buried, they're all coming up. Why? Not to shame you, but to be finally healed and released. You cannot ascend while dragging unresolved baggage. What you do not face now will sabotage your rise later. This is the season to confront it all without judgment, without panic. Look at your habits, your deepest triggers. Trace them back to their roots. Speak truth over them, because only truth can shatter generational chains. The old you numbed pain, avoided conflict, and buried emotion to survive. But the real you, the rising you, feels everything, transforms pain into wisdom, and emerges even stronger. That is true power. Power isn't pretending to be untouchable. It's having the courage to walk through your own inner fire, and emerge clean. This isn't punishment, it's detox. Once your shadow is faced, you become unstoppable, because nothing outside you can control what you've already conquered within. Ever wondered why people who once felt close suddenly pull away? Why they project, act cold, or dim in your presence? It's because your light is rising, and light always triggers darkness. It exposes truths others aren't ready to face within themselves. You're not being punished, you're revealing their hidden wounds. You don't have to say a word. Your very presence speaks louder than any speech. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." Now, when you enter a room, you shift the entire atmosphere, not because you're arrogant, but because you're aligned. Alignment creates resistance in those still bound to their illusions. Do not take their reactions personally. Take them as evidence that you are stepping into your next level. Some people were only ever loyal to your struggle. The moment you rise, their masks fall off. Don't chase after their approval. Don't beg for closeness. Let the shift happen naturally. Their reactions are not your responsibility. Your only job is to keep shining, even if it blinds those who are not ready to wake up. Light attracts truth. Light repels lies. Light reveals what was meant to remain buried. This is why your presence makes some people so uncomfortable. Keep going anyway. You weren't made to make people comfortable. You were designed to wake people up. The world's systems and institutions are collapsing. You can feel it, the collective tremble, the foundations shaking. What once felt solid now feels hollow because it always was. The world is glitching because it's waking up, and so are you. John 16:33 encourages, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." You were never meant to thrive in a system designed to suppress your spirit. That's why you always felt out of place, why the usual definitions of success felt empty. Your soul didn't come here to blend in, it came to break the system open. Don't panic as the structures fall apart. Smile, because this is your moment. While others cling desperately to the crumbling old world, you were born to build the new one. You weren't trained to comply, you were trained to create. Your blueprint does not come from culture or human tradition. It is ancient, divine, and undeniable. Chosen one, your soul has been waiting for this very hour. Will you wear your crown boldly? Will you rise as the sovereign being you were always meant to be? Now is the time, not to shrink, not to conform, but to illuminate and transform. You are the future in human form. Let the old crumble, let the masks fall. Step forward. The world is waiting for your light. Beloved chosen ones, this is the moment where we draw the final breath of the old and exhale into the birth of the new. So stop trying to fix what's already dying. Stop attempting to win in a game that was rigged against your spirit from the start. Let it fall. Watch it burn. And when the ashes settle, you will step forward with a divine blueprint in your hand and begin building what the future truly needs. The time for passive words and shallow affirmations is over. Your voice has become a sacred conduit, a divine weapon, a living code. When you speak now, things don't just shift, they transform, not because of empty magic, but because your alignment with absolute truth has fully activated your inner power. This is not poetic symbolism, this is spiritual technology. It is real, potent, and unstoppable. Your words no longer just fill the air, they build realities. Every decree you make from a place of alignment becomes law in the spiritual atmosphere. That's why your thoughts have been under such fierce attack lately. The enemy knows that if your mind becomes focused, your voice becomes unmatched, unstoppable, and undeniable. Speak life into your dreams. Speak future into your lineage. Speak healing over your wounds. Speak authority into every step you take, but refuse to waste a single breath on self-doubt, petty arguments, or outdated fears. You are beyond that now. You are literally speaking the next version of your existence into reality. Every word is a seed. Guard your language as though it is sacred scripture, because now it truly is. When the world witnesses what emerges from your voice, they'll finally understand. You were never just talking, you were constructing entire worlds. That tug in your chest, that whisper echoing in your soul late at night, it isn't your imagination. It's divine direction. The new path ahead won't be laid out on a clean map. It won't always make sense to your logical mind, but you'll feel it with a certainty that goes beyond reason. That pull, that subtle inner vibration, is the GPS of your soul. You are being called higher, not just in status or visibility, but in frequency, in clarity, and in legacy. To get there, you must trust the unseen more than the visible. You will need to walk with unwavering spiritual confidence through a world built on illusions. You will have to abandon what feels safe and understand that safety itself is a lie. Purpose is the only true safety, and purpose never stays still. Purpose evolves, it calls, it stretches you beyond comfort and demands courage you didn't know you had, and chosen one, you have it. You wouldn't feel this deep, sacred pull if you weren't already fully equipped. Trust the path, even when it looks wild. Trust the signal, even when it defies all logic. Because where you are being led now is where your true name, your true crown, your true essence lives. A line is being drawn right now between those who awaken and those who choose to stay asleep, between those who rise in truth and those who drown in comfortable denial. This is the final separation. You no longer have the luxury to hesitate. You must decide now, in this sacred hour, who you are becoming. Neutrality is no longer an option. Delay is dangerous. Every day you remain undecided is a day stolen directly from your destiny. The shift is happening with or without your consent, but your alignment determines whether you ascend or remain trapped in the cycles of the past. You have seen too much light to keep playing small. You have known too much truth to pretend you are unaware. Right now, heaven is asking you, will you rise? Will you follow the signal, or will you fade into the background and disappear with a world that is already dying? Make the choice. Declare it out loud. And when you do, the universe, the angels, the entire spiritual realm will respond. The path will open wide before you. The fire within will grow stronger, and your real life, the one you were divinely designed to live, will finally begin. You've been taught to chase purpose, to search for meaning, to hunt for power. But the ultimate revelation is this: you're not meant to search outside. It was never out there. It has always been within you, buried beneath layers of noise, fear, and cultural programming. But now it's breaking out. You don't need to become, you simply need to remember. Thank you, beloved chosen ones, for walking this sacred journey with me, for sharing your spirit, your courage, and your silent battles. Your presence here is not taken for granted. If you feel led to support this mission and help this message reach more chosen ones around the world, you can donate through the Super Thanks button below. But know this deeply: whether you give or not, I am profoundly grateful for your energy, your support, and your light. May divine favor surround you like a shield. May your path be illuminated with heavenly clarity. May your spirit remain unshakable as you rise into your true destiny. You are loved, you are seen, and you are unstoppable. Go forth and embody everything you were created to be. It's time. Rise and become the flame,